Well, well, well. There is our first offering of the Dallas Cowboys in this 2025 preseason, Gales. We got plenty to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Plenty,
We
plenty to
do.
talk about. So y'all come and tap in. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Let's go, let's go, let's go. If you want to talk post game, post Rams, post Cowboys, go ahead and tap in on YouTube or on Facebook. Let's hear from you in the comments. Man, Joe Milton's cannon needs a rocket booster or something like that. His rocket needs a rocket booster or something like that. I mean, Will Greer came in there and got a rushing touchdown. Oh, there's a whole lot to unpack here. Y'all go ahead and tap in. KELZ, what's your first thoughts on this Rams Cowboys offering?
Well, um, Mr. Shoddy, he was true to his word that this the playbook for the first preseason will be vanilla, which it was. Hold on, I'm sharing our show. Uh, so let me go to my notes real quick. Um,
Just tapping in. Go ahead and leave us a comment down there below. The Cowboys fall to the Rams. Oh, the season's going down the toilet bowl. Everybody saying fire Shoddy on the first game of the season. I mean, we didn't even see any real starters in this
no,
offering. And as a reminder, preseason is a job interview. And the reason why we kicked off this show here on Get This Check or Nah, we got players trying to get checks like Malik Davis. I seen Malik Davis come in. He looked like he was trying to get a check today, Kels.
yeah, he showed up towards the end, well, at the fourth quarter, and if because it's a lot of names, so let's start off with what we uh had. I sent you our uh the players that was available
Yeah.
today.
We'll
So
go ahead and take a look at that. So that's good to start with because not the starters were out there. Let's take a look at who was really out there besides Joe Milton.
yeah, so this was our starting our available players for um for this game, for tonight's game. And then the other one I sent you was the our starting lineup. So these were our starting lineups. Of course, our right guard Sadiq Charles, he got injured and he was ruled out um towards the end of the third quarter. So our team captains was Brian Anger, Brock Hoffman, and Damone Clark. Our linebacker number 47, Darius Harris. He was our linebacker that was wearing the green dot helmet on defense.
Who was that?
Darius Harris.
Oh, Darius Harris. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So that's why we didn't see Jack Sanborn, and they're probably saving him for the ones
Yeah,
this
he's on
season.
the
Okay.
one. Yeah,
Okay,
he's on.
makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, because the first quarter was atrocious. I mean, I think we had 1 yard offensively. As we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the numbers here shortly. This first quarter was atrocious. Joe
Oh yeah,
Milton was atrocious. The defense was atrocious. The flags was atrocious. I mean, atrocious all the way around the board, y'all.
yeah, and to kick off the game, our newly signed free agent that we got in March, defensive end Peyton Turner, he went down, and it looked like a concussion type fall. Um, and of course, we start the first quarter with a holding penalty.
Yeah,
Um,
first play out the game, right? First it was a kickoff
yeah,
or something like that. Penalty.
yeah. Um, so our defense was slow getting off of their blocks, and there was no pressure applied. The Cowboys' first two running plays resulted in 6 and 8 yard gains from Joe Milton and Deuce Vaughn, respectively, in the second quarter. And then this is the one that I wish didn't happen, but the 4-man rush to sack Milton. And like I said during the pregame show, we will be seeing a lot of Phil Maffa. They put him in the tailback position at the 11-minute 10-second mark in the second quarter. Um, our O line, Austin Richards, he had back-to-back penalties for not being on the line of scrimmage. Uh, of course, the Cowboys couldn't find the end zone on their best offensive drive of the day, and um, Shoddy decided to take the 3 points. Caused the which caused the final timeout with 3 seconds to go. I wish they would have went for it, but that's just me. Some of the notable halftime stats for the Cowboys: Joe Milton went 11 out of 18 attempts, 64 yards, 2 carries. Da, da, da.
Yeah, I thought Joe Milton might lead all rushers tonight, but according to the post game stats here, Phil Maffa 5 carries for 19 yards, Deuce Vaughn sighting 2 carries for 11 yards, and then Joe Milton 2 carries 7 yards, and even Jalen Cropper. So no Jaden Blue, no Miles Sanders.
Nope.
We seen a lot of Malik Davis.
Yep. And cornerback,
which they don't even have him on here because we just signed him, so they don't even have him on the stats here, KELZ.
Right. And cornerback Kaman Hall, linebacker Maris Leofau, and safety Marquise Bell all tied with three tackles. I'm gonna give it up for Maris Leofau because this man was a maniac.
Did he play beyond the first quarter?
No, they took him out.
Yeah, they took him out. Yeah, first quarter it was every play. It was Maris Leofau on the play.
Yeah. So and they took him out. So some other notable halftime stats was the 18 penalties, which cost us 68 yards, 97 net offensive yards, 156 net yards allowed, 1 for 6 on third down. And those 2 3-and-outs in the first half really, I was over the edge. So we could talk a little bit about that before we go into what happened in the second half.
Well, I mean, just 3 and out. I mean, Joe Milton's got a rocket or a cannon or rocket, but no placement. What's good as a rocket without placement? Throwing it way over guys, throwing it behind guys. We thought it was bad with Dak Prescott. I know everybody's out today saying, oh, you said Joe Milton was going to replace Dak Prescott. Well, he could if Dak got injured. But, I mean, this is a good problem to have. Nobody expected. I mean, Dak Prescott hasn't played in any preseason games since 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Right. And we're probably not going to see any until this third preseason game. And again, like you said, this is a job interview. So for all the goofies that aren't understanding what preseason is about, it's not about coming out looking like a Super Bowl team. You got third stringers and fourth stringers, like you just seen KELZ put up our starting linemen. There was none of our starting linemen on the offensive side of the ball. It was all backups.
Right.
So, but it was a tale of two halves. And then that second half, we seen they got it going, especially after they inserted Malik Davis in there, which I don't even know how many yards he had because Google wasn't tracking him because we just signed this week. But I think he may have led all rushers even more than Phil Maffa at 19 yards. I think Malik had to have at least 20 or 30 yards on the rush.
Right. And honestly, Malik Davis is not that far from removed from being with the Cowboys. So it wasn't a lot that he had to,
familiarity.
Yeah.
He was with us for like 6 years, right? And then we let him go last year after we, with the Rico Dowdle situation. But great comment coming in. Gerald joining the show. Appreciate that on Facebook. Says, got to clean up the penalties and 3 and outs. I'm with you. Penalties total, 11 penalties for 83 yards on the Cowboys, 8 penalties for 104 yards. Now, look, I understand we're just in preseason, but you need to know under Mike McCarthy in 5 years, his 5-year tenure, each year, he averaged 104 penalties a season.
Yep. And then when of course, with the second half, this is something I didn't want to happen, but, we started off the second half with Joe Milton trying to go for Ron Flournoy, and then the ball got picked by Cam Lampton. And
Yeah,
they
that looked like a training camp launch. Like he just threw it up, hoping the receiver is going to make a play on, but he was double teamed, and that guy came down with it.
right,
So
which ended up with the Rams taking over at their own 25, and then with 10 minutes 40 seconds in the third quarter, Milton had Flournoy streaking wide open across the middle of the field, but of course he overthrown to him. He still got, in my opinion, he still got ways to go with developing touch on his passes. Then, of course, the injury bug comes again because our linebacker, Buddy Johnson, got injured and he was ruled out for the rest of the game. And our cornerback, Zion Childress, had a great play by blowing up the Jets sweep to Drake Stoops for a loss. And our green dot helmet of tonight, linebacker Darius Harris, quietly was having a good day on defense, which he did. And if you could drop this picture that I showed you with one of the players, if you could post that picture.
yeah, let me get to it right quick. I know which one you're talking about. But yeah, I want to take a look at these stats here in just a second. As soon as you talk about this player, we're going to get back to these stats in just a second. But go ahead. Here he is. Drum roll, please.
And of course, my boy center Brock Hoffman started off the fourth quarter with a shoving match. I told you he was a menace.
Yeah, Brock, I know you've been tooting on the Brock horn here quite some time for sure. But
he likes to fight. He was fighting in training camp. So
yeah, he was. I mean, that defensive line was putting up no fight at all. Like you said, not getting any pressure off the ball or anything. We didn't get any sacks. I think we had that one interception by Izzy. But Ryan's tapping in. He says, I get it's preseason, but we're starting where we left off. Not being disciplined is huge. Yeah, first preseason game. But I just don't want y'all to look at these numbers right quick, though. This is very interesting when you look at the total numbers of the game, right, between both teams. Dallas Cowboys, 149 passing yards, 148 rushing yards. Dallas Cowboys rushed the ball. But on the other side of the ball, Rams, 183 passing yards and 181 rushing yards. I mean, that's a lot of rushing yards in this game. And I believe there was a tale of two halves because that first quarter, we got it ran all over us.
Right.
Defense, we had two scores on top of us before we could even say Joe Milton. I think Joe Milton had a 2 3-and-outs in the first quarter, right?
And one in the second half.
Yeah, I think we had one total yard in the first quarter, which, yeah, we couldn't get over that quarter fast enough. But tell the two halves in the second half, if we'd have had a better first quarter, maybe stop one of them touchdowns, could have been a little bit more interesting of a game. But these are backup players again, auditioning for a job, like KELZ shared with us here, to get this check or not. So we're finding out.
And then somewhere in the 13-minute mark in the fourth quarter, our right guard Sadiq Charles, he went down. Then he ended up going inside the injury tent, and he was ruled out. 11 minutes 15 seconds, and in the final half, Joe Milton's best throw of the night was complete up to the sideline to Trayshawn Holden. I told people in the pregame show to be on the lookout for Trayshawn Holden.
Yeah, he was wearing number 7 from one tray to the next.
Yeah. For a 35-yard gain. With 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Joe Milton, he leaves out with an apparent elbow or shoulder injury, and that completed his game. Enters Will Greer. Joe Milton's final numbers was 17 out of 29 completions, 143 yards. He has a touchdown, an interception, 5 carries for 22 yards.
Yeah, how about he threw a touchdown pass to Rivaldo Fairweather, a guy that I got to ask my 3 menu questions at training camp. So if you're a supporter of the Built Different group inside the exclusive group, you can check out Rivaldo. I was like, yeah, he got a touchdown. But getting back to our running game there, Caitlin with the context tapping in there. Look at this, 7 carries, 63 yards for Malik Davis. I think maybe the Cowboys might have found running back 1. Malik Davis all of a sudden is now back in the fold. Big time carries here today. Yeah, that's where a lot of that 140 some odd yards of running game came from, was from Malik Davis. Yeah, Davis looks good. Moffitt looks good. Yeah, Moffitt looks like a heavy bruiser. KELZ talked about that here before. He's a bowling ball type runner. So we seen a little bit of him.
But them 2 big boys that the Rams had in the middle, they was like, oh yeah, hold my beer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first indicator was at the Rams scrimmage that I was at this past Wednesday. Cowboys were getting blown off the ball. They said the offensive line was having trouble. I mean, there was all kinds of things happening everywhere. It looks like the Rams came more prepared, not only for the scrimmage, but for the game too as well, because they were just executing. It seemed like they were getting nothing but clean pockets. Like you said, we weren't applying any pressure in that first half, getting nothing but clean pockets back there for Stetson or whatever his name is. He was getting whatever he wanted out of that secondary.
Yeah. We definitely got, I already know Shotty is probably going to drop some F-bombs. It looked like he didn't get too pissed off. Like he said that because in the preseason I read the text message that his play calling and the playbook was going to be very vanilla because he don't want to give too much away for the teams that we're going to be playing against in the regular season. But if there's a possibility for someone to piss him off, then he might sprinkle some of that in. Apparently it wasn't that much that will piss him off. That happened tonight.
I mean, hopefully he's pissed at the defense for giving up 14 points out the gate, like my guy Hugo's tapping in. Brand new name here. Appreciate you tapping in on Facebook. He says Leofow is good. He needs to play a lot more of this preseason. Well, he's going to be running a lot with the ones because under this Eberflus defense, the linebackers are his main assets. And yeah, Leofow was all over in the first quarter, and I believe he was having such a good quarter. They just took him out. They said, we don't want this guy to get too much going and maybe get hurt. We're injuring our linebacker locker. So, but yeah, Maris Leofow is definitely a bright spot here for us. Early.
Yeah, they took him out like half of the first quarter.
But let us know down in the comments below, what did you see? What was your biggest concern for the Dallas Cowboys? Yes, discipline is a problem. Yes, the penalties. I mean, the first play, I just knew it. As soon as they threw a flag, I was like, it's holding. But I think it was some other kind of flag. And I think the next flag, the next penalty right after that, it was a holding. I was like, nothing's changed.
But let's talk about the penalty in question. Can we show that?
Oh yeah. You're talking about the CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that video here. Let's take a look at that video just really quick. We'll get that pulled up. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb getting ran over by the refs. What? Did y'all see that play? We get ready to watch the video right here. Was CeeDee Lamb in the wrong or was the ref in the wrong? You be the judge. CeeDee Lamb on the sideline. Boom.
And he wasn't even on the field.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's in that white area, isn't it on the side of the field? He's not supposed to be there, isn't the ref? I don't know.
On his side. He was on his side.
But they called a flag on us for having a player in the way or something like that, right?
Right. And he wasn't in the way. That the bounty judge, whatever they call him, was running, not even paying attention, looking the other way, and ran right into him in the back of him. But I was like, how you get a penalty on your day off?
I'm like, damn, CD ain't playing. Micah already not playing because he got a bad back. And then you got CeeDee Lamb out here get hit in the back. I mean, what's next? We're going to CeeDee Lamb not practicing this week? Yeah, he looked like he's trying to take out our best players. You're right about that. Ryan says they're trying to take out our best player. They ain't slick. Yeah, exactly. But y'all let us know in the comments who was in the wrong. I don't know. I couldn't see. I think they got that. If I'm not mistaken, the rules say in that white boxed area or whatever, players are supposed to be on the other side of that. Maybe CD thought he had whatever or something, wasn't paying attention to turn his back, and that ref obviously didn't have any situational awareness of where he was going. I'm just glad that they haven't had any injuries talked about from that play, because God forbid if CD would have had a freak injury on that play.
Right. I mean, I could see if CD was on the white line. I could see that, but he wasn't.
Kayla's tapping in, says CD 100% in the wrong. Cannot obstruct the white line where plays are going. Well, we couldn't really see it from that video point of view, so we'd have to get a different angle on that video to find out where CD is. But it looks like where the ref was running, it looks like CD might have been in the white, but who knows? Dave says, did y'all really expect to win? Hey, man, it's a preseason. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys have had a couple of preseasons, losing preseasons here recently. But while you here, no, hold on. Let me get back to Dave. But while you here, let me know. Oh, we see who your team is. We know who your team is. You're a Dallas Cowboy fan. That's why you're hanging out here with us talking at preseason, baby. We see you, Dave, Cowboys fan.
I'm gonna try to be nice, but I'm not. We're not looking for us winning a preseason game. We're looking at what you should be looking at, worrying about on your own team.
Yeah.
We're looking at.
But no. His team is the Cowboys. That's why he's here. He's a closet fan.
No. Anyway, with that little dirty bird that is on his profile picture, we're looking at plays, the players that's trying to make the 53-man roster. So if I were you, I will stay worried about my own team, what's going on, because I think no organization that has a built-in prison on their stadium should be talking about what we're doing.
KELZ.
Please have several stadiums of seats. Please do.
KELZ, that's what they call DL in Philly. They act like they're Philadelphia Eagle fans, but they hang out on Cowboy pages. You know what I mean? But let's get back to this preseason game. Let's leave these bird brains alone. Y'all beat them up in the comments and let them know they're not supposed to be hanging out over here, showing out like that, coming out of the closet.
I'm not the one, and I'm definitely not the two.
Got it. He said, why is Shitberg doing on here? Exactly. But hey, I mean, that's why I posted that. You know, I posted the Dallas Cowboys preseason. Speaking of Philadelphia, yeah, I got something I want to share with y'all real quick. Speaking of Philadelphia, let's just talk about it, right? And I posted this here earlier. Y'all know Allen Iverson is a big-time Cowboys fan, right? But in case you did not know, here is the record. Yeah, we talking about preseason, not practice. But in case you didn't know, the Cowboys have went 1-2 last season. They went 1-2 in 23. They went 2-1 in 2022. And they went 2-1 in 2021, because we know all of the preseason warriors are going to show up in the comments. The Cowboys suck. But show us your football acumen, because you don't understand that 2s and 3s are playing in the game and not the 1s. Okay, as I digress. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So this just came out. Shotty said Joe Milton got hit in the elbow. So like like when you hit your funny bone, which caused him to leave early. It doesn't sound too concerned about it. It's just could be some bruising.
Yeah. Well, it's not like we already got enough injuries to worry about, man. The injury opponent is already wreaking havoc on this team. Y'all remember the injury opponent wreaked havoc on us last season. But, man, going to sign Malik Davis, that was a bright spot here. That was one of the better bright spots I seen in this game. The Cowboys being able to establish the run. I like that, Clayton Adams being on this offensive coordinator, running the ball well in Arizona, bringing that to the Cowboys. I mean, 140 rushing yards, even though we caught an L, but still to see the Cowboys rush over 140 yards with multiple running backs. I mean, even though we were behind, they still were able to establish the run, but we got it a little late. We got to get a little bit.
Yeah, we have to get that running game. We definitely have to get this running game in order. And what I did see, as far as, because not only was I watching us, I was watching a little bit with the Rams, because they had some of the similar issues that we had last season as far as not stopping the run and having a running game. But the Rams, they answered those problems.
Yeah, no, the Rams was. I mean, they were just pushing the ball down our throat. Like in that first quarter, after that first quarter of putting up 14 points, I'm Sean McVay. I'm like, I'm gonna just run whatever.
Yeah.
And get it. I mean, clean pockets, no pressure. Yeah, we had a lot of problems there. But if we didn't get behind those two scores early in that first quarter, could have been a totally different game. But again, we're evaluating talent. And so Malik Davis, to me, hey, man, I'm already ready to crown Malik Davis RB1 because I don't know about Jaden Blue and these injuries and
I'm not
Vaughn and his injuries.
I ain't doing that.
I mean, shout out to my guy West Coast. He was on the show with us here a few weeks back. He actually said the RB1 is not even on the team at that particular time, and maybe Malik Davis might, but I think KELZ has got other things in mind. What about this secondary? How did you feel about what we've seen in this secondary today, KELZ? Does anything stick out to you?
No, I mean, butter still butter. Butter still butter. That penalty that caused him to back up to the 35-yard line. I think that was a good call for the delay of game with Schoonmaker coming in a little bit late. That gave Butter a little bit better yardage for kicking because I noticed if he kicks somewhere in like the 30 or the 25, it may not go in his favor. He's a little bit better, like 35 and over in as far as kicking.
Yeah, because I mean it was a record. I think you shared with me earlier. Some kicker today kicked a 72-yard or 70-yard or something like
that. But it's not going to count in the record books because it happened in preseason.
Preseason, okay. But right now, the record, what's the record for the current longest kick? Do you know about 10? Or do I need to Google that right quick?
I want to say it's 67, but I think it belongs to us.
Let's go ahead and let's take a look at it right now. The longest field goal in NFL history is 66 yards kicked by Justin Tucker on the Baltimore Ravens.
What year?
That was in against the Lions in 2021.
But what about that?
Jaguars' Cam Little recently made a 70-yard field goal in a preseason game, but it won't be recognized. So there it is right there. I don't know. It didn't say anything here about Butter.
But what about last season?
Let's go 2024. Yeah. Brandon Aubrey kicked the longest field goal, a 65-yarder last season. So the record is 65 yards, right?
For last season, but the record is 67 for
the longest ever.
Yeah.
And that's held by Justin Tucker. Okay. Well, yeah, Butter's butter. We know that. I mean, there's no question on our special teams that the guy can kick the ball in, but I like the fact we went for it on a couple of fourth downs. I think how many we convert a couple of fourth downs. Let me take a look at here. Fourth down efficiency. Yeah, we were 1 of 2. So we did attempt 2 fourth down, going for it on fourth downs. And that's why Joe Milton took off with that. And I think if he'd have had the ball and put it out, like you always see all the quarterbacks try to put it out to try to gain that extra yard before they go over the line, looks like Joe Milton had tucked the ball. And if he maybe had stuck it out a little bit, might have got a first down. I don't know. Y'all let us know in the comments. What did y'all see?
Yeah. This game was real messy, but what I can say is we was backstage watching the game, and BG finally got a glimpse of what I look like when I look at these games. Like, even if I'm not watching, I'm listening, but I'm also taking notes of what happened. So there was a particular play that I did catch, and I yelled pick before Izzy even caught the ball.
Yeah, sure did.
I was like, pick. And then all you hear is interception from Israel Mukuamu. I said, see, I called it.
Yeah, we needed that. Especially because KELZ was saying something that she wanted to watch the replay on the game tomorrow. And I'm like, well, how are we going to do a post-game show if you're watching the game tomorrow? So I got NFL Plus.
I was going to be old school, and people know what I'm talking about. You remember for all these little glitz, get, and glamour stuff that we're looking at now, if you was on like the NFL app or the Cowboys app, they would do a play-by-play of everything that has happened, and it was just like game notes, and I was going to go by that. And then they also will have the field, and they will mark where each player is and what happened on that play. That's what I was going to do.
I like how we did that. School. We were actually in the back room. We shared a room there. We weren't live, so we didn't get hit with copyright to be able to watch the game together. And I got room for 2 more people, and I think we're gonna do this next week. We're gonna watch the game on NFL Plus. Should it be on NFL Plus or whatever market we can get access to? We'll be running it back next week. So maybe we'll have a couple of our Green Badgers join us. So if you'd be interested, let us know. As we sat back, had some popcorn, watched all the plays, talking between the commercials, talking about some mambo sauce, talking about some food. But overall, it was a great time. But I was just happy to see the Cowboys put a little effort into it in that second half because, man, the Rams were just, plugging away every quarter. I don't think they had a bad quarter. They played a pretty solid game pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, Ryan, they were favoring Mingo. That wide receiver 3.
Yeah, he went to Mingo a couple times.
Yeah, it's going to be a toss-up between him and Tolbert.
Tolbert was playing special teams. Now, Tolbert had the kickoff. I think he was doing kickoff returns today, too, as well. Hugo says Tolbert is always ghost until he makes like 1 or 2 plays. Yeah, he didn't look good today either.
And he was ghost in OTAs, mini camp, and training camp. So, especially if they're talking about carrying 5 to 6 wide receivers, it looks like they will be carrying between okay, so it's a 53-man roster. And what I did find out while the game was going on, we may be carrying between 4 to 5 running backs. But on game day, there will be 46 that is dressed. So if that's the case, like I said before, they may be placing running backs based on the needs of who we're playing.
Whatever opponent we're playing that week,
whatever opponent we're playing. So if we're playing one of those big games and stuff, then you might see a Javonte Williams and a Phil Maffa, something like that. But if it's like some light work, like some lightweight work, then we won't be pulling out the big guns.
Yeah, because no Javonte Williams, obviously the running back one. He's been running with the ones. No Jaden Blue, recent injury. I don't know if it had been maybe if he didn't have that little injury nick that he had recently. You think maybe we might have seen some of him tonight?
Oh yeah, he was on target to play this preseason game.
Okay,
and he was going to showcase on the field as well as special teams. So he was supposed to do some kickoff returns too.
Well, the good thing is the Cowboys got to return back to camp. They got to get that work. They're going to have to look at some film. Hopefully CD's back is okay. I don't need him and Micah both hurt with back injuries, especially with only 2 preseason games left.
Well, we only know, that back issue is in question. But that's
I know. Yeah, I'm emphasizing back, with CD Lamb's back. Because we don't know if they got injury or not. But we still got 2 more preseason games. Still a lot for these Cowboys to find out if they're going to get this check or not. And we're talking about they're going to get this check from Jerry on this 53-man roster or not. They're not going to make the 53-man roster. So we still got the Ravens coming up, which next is going to be interesting because it's going to be the battle of the backups, KELZ. You got Cooper Rush going against Joe Milton.
Oh, let me tell you about that.
In Dallas. It's going to be interesting this next game.
So let me tell you, I did watch because I'm in the market. I did watch the Baltimore game. They need to figure out how they going to handle Peoples. He a big boy on the for the Baltimore Ravens. Aeneas, I want to say his name is. Y'all know how I am. I like to get people's names right. Aeneas Peoples. That's a big boy. The Cowboys need to figure out what they're gonna do with him. How they gonna handle this big boy in Baltimore.
I think it's going to be interesting because we know we've seen Cooper Rush leave and go sign a deal at the backup quarterback spot for the Ravens, coming back to Dallas against Joe Milton, especially after Joe Milton had a lackadaisical showing here today. I expect a little bit more out of him.
But people wanted Rush Hour to take Dak's job. And to me, I'm going to be honest with you. From what I saw with Cooper Rush, it makes the Cowboys look like they were right in not bringing him back. The way
it ain't gonna look good at Cooper Rush coming towards that secondary in AT&T Stadium today or next week though. But
hey. You know, I think I'm gonna be honest with you, because the way that the preseason is now, I think this matchup is going to be players that did not play this game and players. It's going to be a mix.
It's going to be a rotation of some players, some new players that didn't get to play this game, so they can get it in. I think they said it's all about snaps. Each position group, each player is trying to get in a certain amount of snaps on this preseason, so that way they can evaluate these players, so to speak. Like what you're talking about. Because
from what it looked like, Joe Milton was supposed to play the entire game. Had the injury did not happen. And like I said, you know, the same thing with Malik Davis. Will Greer was still with us, you know. So he really didn't need a lot of work, basically, to see who's going to take the QB. But I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I like Joe Milton, if he's playing like what we've been seeing and how he's been practicing, QB2 is going to go to Will Greer.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, Will Greer came right in and hit pay dirt quick, which I wasn't mad at. I just wanted them to score again, so that way, you know, we could make it interesting, so to speak. But here it is, Baltimore Ravens at the Dallas Cowboys, August 16th, another 4 o'clock game, TV and streaming, ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, NFL Network. It will be on the NFL Network and also on NFL Plus. But I think we'll probably just do another viewing like we did today. KELZ, if you're down, maybe we might invite a green badge or two to come join us, have some popcorn, and watch the game together. How do you feel about that?
I'm cool with it. Just let's just have another Cowboys diva besides me. I mean, you know me. I could chat it up with the guys all day. But it's good to have another lady.
Yeah, shout out to the lady. Shout out to Megan. Our girl Shorty, Megan Myrick, is the Gym Rat of the Month for July. She gets on the board. We've got 2 women Gym Rats of the Month. Shout out to my girl Prototype and Megan. Then we got Mike Rock in the mix. So there's our 4 or 3 Gym Rats of the Month right there as we kick off this Gym Rat of the Month program. But, man, yeah, let's get the ladies going. I know we got Caitlin in here. We got Megan. We got Prototype. We got some ladies that love them boys that would like to chop it up. So if you want to come watch with us next week on the Ravens game, same time, same bat channel, 4 p.m.
And we're playing Baltimore.
Next Saturday.
We playing Baltimore. I might have to talk to my dad to see if we could get some crabs.
Ooh-wee. Crabs for Baltimore. Cowboys and Ravens. You got any parting words before we get out of here, KELZ? Boy, you got me hungry. I'm thinking about some food now.
Post that PSA up again in case you didn't catch it during the pre-show.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
We need that. Yeah.
KELZ has a message for everybody here.
Everybody.
In case y'all missed it on the first one.
Yes.
We appreciate everybody joining us on Facebook and on YouTube. This has been the post-game show with the Cowboys and the Rams. And here's the message from my girl KELZ to all the guys.
Tell y'all, don't listen. Just bring me my pizza and my wings and my drink. Don't have no long discussion about where we see our future in the next 2 to 3 years, I will drop you like a bad habit. Don't do it. This is football season. Don't do it. Don't ask me to go anywhere.
KELZ said her boys are back in town, and that is the main thing. And she likes to keep the main thing, and I do too. Her name's KELZ. I'm BG. We appreciate y'all joining us for the pregame and the postgame. Circle back and spin the block next week. Cowboys versus Ravens, Saturday, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, baby. We'll see y'all in the gym on the next episode.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing.